Hey, this is a video of how we can crack any interview in your first go. And not everyone tells you about that. So here's what I did. I cracked my interview in my first go. Let me tell you something. I didn't know anything about aviation. I come from an English major background. I did my graduation in English major. And I always wanted to do something in English. But I've always been into traveling. And I knew that there is this thing called as cabin crew. So from English to aviation, it's a whole different sector, it's a whole different field. I didn't know anything about aviation, but I always wanted to do this. So I did was what everybody does, Google and YouTube. But it did not help me at all. So I had to do Google that what exactly do people do in interviews? How do they walk? How do they talk? What questions do they ask? That's what I studied. But that didn't help me at all because every time I was practicing with myself, it didn't come out of me. So I changed my strategies. And this is what exactly got me into the airlines. I studied the brand. I went to the Google and I searched everything I need to know about these airlines, their brand, the time they've been working on, what achievements they have had, anything that I need to know about them because if I want to get into them, I need to have the knowledge about them because I want to be there. I can't have any knowledge about them and be a part of them. So I studied the brand. I studied this airline. And after doing that, that's what helped me get into the airlines. I went to my interview room and my gosh, there were 800 girls over there. This was my first interview in my entire life. And the girls who were sitting next to me, it was their sixth or seventh, and two of them, it was their 13th, and one of them, it was their 30th interview. And they would come every week and every month. And after first round, second round, third round, maybe in the fourth round, they would get failed. And this was my very first time in my life. And I'm like, I have no idea what to do. They're already experienced. They're better at their grooming. They know exactly what questions these people ask. They know exactly how interview works. And this is my first time. I have no knowledge about that. The only thing I had in me was confidence in myself and in my abilities. That is the reason why you study the brand first. And that is the reason why you need to be good at communication. I had what these girls didn't have. With all due respect, I cracked my interview in my first go. And they couldn't. Because when they were asking questions, I was talking with them like this is what I do for my living. Like you throw any question at me and I have got the answers. So whatever they're asking me, do not give them one line answers. Let's say for an example they ask you, where do you live? Don't tell them just one line answer, where do you live? Elaborate that place. I live in this place where people love this city or people like this place, people wake up in the morning, or this place, this thing is famous in my place, or people in my place are known for this, or I come from this place and now I'm settled at this place. Give 5 to 6 line answers. You need to show them that you are talkative because that is what they're looking for. You gotta talk with them. When they ask you questions, what's your favorite color? Just don't tell them that my favorite color is blue, black, pink. They don't care about your favorite color. Nobody does. You will ask me, what's my favorite color? You won't care about that. If I ask you the same question, I won't care about that. What I care about is how you answer that question. If I say that my favorite color is blue, and why do I like blue? Because there are different shades of blue in the sky. There is sky blue, there is dark blue, there is navy blue, there is this blue, there is that blue, and every single color of blue entices me. They love that. They love the people who talk more. Now, you don't have to be talkative and just be a chatterbox and talk about anything. Stick to the points. Communication, confidence. You need to stick to the points. I don't even like the color blue. Color, it's just a normal color, but I know exactly how to talk. So if you throw any color, you throw anything at me, I know exactly how to talk, and that's what they're looking for. People around me, oh my, they were so good at their grooming. I did not know how to do makeup. I did not. I mean, I was like 6 months in my job and I was still taking an hour to do my makeup. because that's how bad I was. It doesn't matter. My English was good, but being good at your English doesn't help you get into the airlines. There were people who had already been working in some different airlines, but they couldn't crack this interview because they didn't have what these other people were looking for. Or there were people who had cracked that, who had given interviews for like fourth time or sixth time, eighth time, 10th time. They didn't have this element what they were looking. You know what? From the interview's perspective, they are not looking how great you look, how presentable you are, or how great your skills are. All they care about is how you're helping them, how you're gonna be best at whatever they ask you to do. Like if you're good at grooming, how good can your grooming be if you don't know how to talk? If you're good at your body language, but what's that gonna help them if you're not good at communicating? Because body language doesn't always help people, it helps when you know communication. Your body language and your communication helps it. So if you're good at communication, maybe you can make your body language even more better. If you're good at grooming, maybe you can help it with your communication. They need to know why you are good for them. If I were an interviewer, I don't care how good your grooming is. I don't care what dress you're wearing. I don't care how handsome, like a model, or how handsome, beautiful, or a stunning diva you look. I don't care about that. I don't care what makeup you use. I don't care whether you're using Dior, Chanel, Louis Vuitton. I don't care any of that. All I care is if you're good for me or not. If you're bringing something to me on my table, that's when I'll share my table with you, is what they are looking for. So you need to be confident in yourself. And that is what I was. I didn't know makeup. I knew how to do dress sense. My body language was great. But the greatest asset that I had on me, I was nervous. In my heart, I was crazy, going haywire because there were girls. I was literally looking at them, beautiful, their grooming, their dress sense. They were so gorgeous and they were experienced. But I did not underestimate myself. I was constantly telling myself that, hey, I am great at my skills too. I am better than them. I knew how to communicate. I knew how to talk. And that is what helped me. When I went to that interview room and when they were asking me questions, I was giving them the exact answer why they should hire me, why they need to have me on their board. Because I've got all of the skills that's going to help you. That is what an interview always looks at. And that is how I cracked my very first interview in my entire life in my first go. And that is the only interview I've ever given in my entire life. Because after that, I don't need to give any interviews. I don't have to go there and tell people that, hey, this is my second interview and this is my second job. No, I did in my first go and I'm happy with that. You've got to be smart. You've got to be confident. Confidence is the key. That is what I had. And this is the only secret I can give. So you've got to be confident. If you want to know more, you can always comment down.